Start it. Start it right now.
And
Do
it
it.
started.
Click the button.
We did it.
Yeah, start the stream. Yeah, do it.
I
Oh,
did.
oh yeah.
I've
See if
done
I
it.
care.
It
Do it.
started.
Yeah, wow.
We're going.
All right,
It's
yeah.
live. We're
no,
live.
just click the button.
I did.
Go, yeah.
I did it.
No,
It's done.
you would, wouldn't you? Oh,
Yes.
all right. Good. Yeah.
Anyway, hey everybody, it's Great Ace Attorney.
How many years has it been since we started this? We streamed a Great Ace Attorney on time and on the right day.
It's been some time.
It's
Shall
been
we say?
a hot minute, surely. But what were we doing? We're interviewing this lady, right? Because
Yeah,
she
so-
definitely stabbed that lady.
Yeah, basically, Van, at the end of the last one, we figured out that the crime scene was moved to the other side of the street. So Mrs. Garrett had probably threw a knife out the window and had stabbed that woman in the back.
Excellent. Well, let's do it.
Yes, well, then hang on. My wife and I have never been upstairs. That will go the reason out. Well, they had to sit there and try to cover it. She was had it out there, we got the window open.
Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him.
Not even now, for an update. That's how it goes sometimes with me outfit. But I think the victim's back really was what it was, and I was helping prove it, I think. It sounds like it was quite the battlefield in your house that evening.
Although an entirely one-sided assault, it seems.
Then we call us on the hot top, and I thought we could dig in and take defensive measures. To be honest, had we kept shouting us for another minute, we'd have been doused. Of course, the veteran such as myself. Surely too aware on every battlefield, this is not whisker away from death at any moment.
Are we still talking about a marital quarrel here?
Well, I'll say absolutely, if the search better was shed any light on the origins of this jackknife.
In combat, focus narrows, such that surroundings are barely noticed. These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than they have testified already. This may be a dead end.
Manzeeks may well be right.
Well, whatever the chances. We only have this last cross-examination to uncover the truth, Mr. Narhardo.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Well, Captain, we need to cross-examination.
Cross-examination. The Battle of Garridan. Referring to, the wife and I did have a bit of a skirmish. Can't recall the reason now. Hold it! I can.
I can.
The reason is what you told us yesterday, I believe.
Yes, that's right. If I remember correctly. It all started because of a note that was tucked into the pages of a book belonging to Mr. Garridan.
A rather passionate note, in fact. But Mrs. Garridan found the note, discovering her husband's little secret.
And she gave him a mighty number of slaps across the face for it, too.
What a sordid state of affairs.
Hell on earth.
I say, when a chap really can't recall those things, it's common decency not to drag them up. And besides, how it was wide of the mark anyway.
Uh-oh.
A likely story. These waters run very deep.
And what right about after these multiple blows to the face?
Sorry, if I'm talking weird, it's because just before the stream, I destroyed my face with a tablet pen.
I was there. I was there in spirit, anyways.
Fuck. Yeah, so I had my legs crossed, right? And the cord that was connected to my tablet pen was, like, across my desk, sort of, in such a way that approximately at leg level, when I uncrossed my leg, I pulled on the cable, and it flung the pen directly into my lip. Point first. So, my lip is a little bit fucked up right now.
Hold it!
Hold it! And the fire also spread to some items of furniture, didn't it?
I'm okay. My armchair. Anything I'm on with it. If that happens, there was some backwater and they ripped us offside to put it out. I'm multiple care the situation you put yourself in. I was in the 3-story townhouse in the west side of the street where the water main isn't connected yet. After the water from a public pump years of the name we need anything.
The lodgers are always moaning they can't get any water at night. Although that little mustached Japanese man buys water in bottles, I believe. The defendant, Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, he receives a stipend for his studies, you know, from his home country. Can you imagine being able to brew a pot of tea at all hours? He's obviously very well off. Have you actually seen the state of the man?
I believe he uses all of his income to buy books.
Well, anyway, the point is, I was able to have supply with water, fortunately enough.
I was picking up... Hold it! Even though the room was on fire...
Still you.
That's me. As far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. When a woman wants to throw, she must throw.
That is most certainly not true of a Susato takedown, Mr. Naruto.
How did she know I was thinking that? So please cast your mind back and try to remember. Was a knife among the items you threw at your husband that day? In all honesty, I don't recall. But I feel I must point out that I'm no monster. Let me see. Some bread, a cabbage, garlic, a towel, and a sponge. A napkin? By Jupiter, did you just say?
By Jupiter!
Excuse me!
Excuse me? Oh, because they're space-themed, right? Do you have something to add, sir? Look at him spin that thing. Mr. Garrett!
No, shoot. Sorry. I beg your pardon.
Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind?
Nothing of significance, no. Just that Brahms projectile was the only thing launched in my direction. With some that she implies, books, bricks, and the fire poker has him no call.
Ouch.
Oh, James and Candy. Sandra came out of there. What's grief, woman? We're out of home now. This is a court of law.
Oh, dearie me. Ever so sorry, dear. So what did he actually say before that? She wanted to direct it with everything. Damn.
With every belly.
Ever so sorry, dear. What's she even doing with a teapot in here? Honestly, John, I would never have thrown such things at you, obviously.
And yet you did. Well, take a look at this then. How do you suppose this happened?
Oh, it's
Your
broken.
mom, sir. Has thing in my head as usual a time when I'm slot. I was clean out with one of self-projectiles in it, yes. And I went to pick the thing up, it was broken in two. I just see a sponge do that sort of damage.
I see. Your pipe was broken.
I've never been set flying, this was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I've managed to manage this thing up for now.
Oh, you are one to exaggerate, aren't you, dear? But you did break it, though. I wonder why you should make it this account. It could be important. The defense believes Mr. Garrett's remarks just now to be of great significance.
Objection!
No, they aren't.
This war veteran's words only tell us one thing. Betray a fiery wife, and the pipes, as well as hearts, may be broken. Sentimental wisdom, perhaps, but hardly worthy of adding to the formal testimony.
Indeed, all that one might say.
Might one?
In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe, sir?
Don't see why not.
Ah, yes, the wife pouring scalding hot tea over her husband's hands. It's funny every time. Maybe. Oh, dear me, there you go again, trying to ingratiate yourself with a young lady.
Well, I'll go to accept the German's pipe as evidence.
Let me take a look at that fucking thing.
I hope I didn't speak out of turn, Mr. Naruto.
Naruto grabbing it out of her hand and just instantly... Looks to be in a sorry state with that bandage around it, doesn't it? But for some reason it feels slightly ominous to me, like it's trying to shout out a warning. Probably because it's the same blue as Mr. Garrett's dressing gown.
I suppose it must have considerable sentimental value to Mr. Garrett, given that he's gone through trouble repairing it like this.
Either that or he can't afford to replace it. Oh! Oh! Oh!
Oh!
Is that the tip of the knife? No, something just twinkled inside the chamber of that pipe there.
Remember how it was missing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Yes, I saw it.
Still,
Something's stuck in here, I think.
Let's turn it over and give it a shake. What's this? It's a tiny fragment of metal.
It's a tiny fragment of metal. That was me.
Oh.
It looks to be the tip of a blade or something.
The tip of a blade? Surely it couldn't be. Fragment of metal has been entered into the court record. The only other thing I saw was this chip. There's a small nick out of the bowl here, look. It appears to have been made relatively recently. How could you possibly
It's
tell
here,
that?
the little scrapes and dents all over it. It's clearly a well-loved pipe.
Yes, you're right. It seems to me recently that being well-loved goes hand in hand with getting some battle scars. This particular nick is catching my eye, though, because it's clearly new. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
I have to examine this now?
We knew this. Oh, look here, Mr. Naruto. Just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing.
Wait, part of it's missing. I could be wrong, but I've just got a feeling. You remember this?
Ah, that's the tiny fragment of metal we found inside Mr. Garrett's pipe.
Yes, and just maybe. Yep.
Oh my, it's a perfect fit.
Somehow I just knew it. Alright.
I was just feeling rather disappointed for you that your quest was turned down.
Oh no, it's fine. Thanks to Susato-san, we have some new evidence to work with. We should examine it carefully.
Something, just the tip. Haha. This nick is so new, it's from the future. Haha. This nick is so new, it's at night.
It's at night.
I don't know. This nick at night.
Nick at night.
Nick at night. Haha.
Are we okay? Is this what happens when we stream on time?
Apparently.
Oh no.
Ready for that. Rebuttal, Mr. Garrett. Now you can return to the crux of the matter. What can you tell the court about the knife you still got the victim?
Well, here we go. Plenty of knives around that place. Can't say I noticed one or two men missing, I'm afraid. That bally thing in the victim's back was really one of us. You have a job proving it, I think. Oh, will I? Objection! Mr. Garrett, could I ask you to take a good look at this, please?
You can ask, but I can't see about anything.
You can't?
You used to call me Dead Eye Jim back in the regiment, of course. But I was some type of way now. You were trying to do the Georgia and I'm trying to prepare the fire these days. I struggle to tell the pea from a tea and the people with you, to be honest.
Oh, he does. Deary me, it's rather wearing being asked about every other letter and every other word. You must be very dizzy.
Wow.
Good joke.
What is that? A tiny scrap of metal.
Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade. And what may appear at first to be just a tiny scrap is in fact a crucial piece of evidence. I don't like where this is going.
I'm going to shit in your coffee. Oh no, why would he do that? What a bastard. Interesting. And where did this defense come by? And where did the defense come by this evidence?
It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Garrett's pipe. Nope, that's not me.
Wow, you you even start doing the voice I use.
I know.
Right, Joe, I wonder how we got there. And what precisely does this fragment of man serve to find out too? I suggest it's somewhere related to the battle established on Priory Road.
Yes. I am.
What?
When put together with another piece of evidence already in the court record, I believe this tiny
What is
fragment
that
of metal
you
will
say?
unravel the whole truth of this case, my lord.
Unravel.
Unravel.
Unraveled.
Well, I got with it in the house and all that segment council. Well, then, present the pertinent evidence to the court. What evidence would bear with this fragment of metal allegedly revels the truth of the entire case?
Take that! This is the knife that was found in the victim's back. If you look closely, you will see that there is a small piece at the tip of this blade that is missing.
A common issue with inferior blades sold at unsavory street markets. You see, they have a large grain on the inside of the steel structure due to improper thermal cycling before the quench in oil. I watched Forged in Fire.
Stupid.
Criminal. The funny thing is I don't know anything about actual. I learn about as much blade forging as you would learning cooking from a competition. You just
Yeah.
learn like 3 words. Criminals who use them regularly leave the tips lodged in their victims' bones.
Oh.
And what are this particular knife?
That's not how I was expecting that sentence to end, I'll be honest.
Oh. No doubt its tip has suffered a similar fate. Now languishing somewhere near the spine of the victim.
Objection!
No!
No, that's not the case. The tip of this particular knife's blade is the very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber of Mr. Garrett's pipe.
In the chamber of an... Oh, that was...
That was extremely
something.
dramatic.
Oh.
It looks like he's been
Good
shot.
old Francis!
I don't believe it. The knife from the crime scene was fragment of metal. The perfect match. Play.
Queen Molly God!
Oh, she's
my
on a box.
God. Did you see how much fucking coffee is down the back of his robe? Or perhaps
No, I
burn
didn't.
marks?
Oh my god, that's a shit ton.
Hold up, hold up.
Shit.
Is this some sort of Eastern sorcery?
There is no magic, my lord. And except for the magic of the night, I turn into a bat. I will suck your blood. This is a miracle.
A miracle?
So Van Zeeks has figured it out, has he?
Well, we made an more coincidence at once.
Well, it's not a coincidence. Yes, my lord. The crucial point we have to ask ourselves here is when did the fragment of metal find its way inside Mr. Garrett's pipe?
Something that was clarified for us in the most recent witness testimony.
I have to clean that with one of the self-projectiles on it, yes.
Oh
look at
no,
them
look at her
shake.
wobble.
I know.
Oh, he's hearing me.
During the argument between these two that occurred just as the victim was on the pavement below, Mrs. Garrett flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Garrett, instead striking the pipe in his hand at the time.
Which caused the tip to break off, of course.
Good Lord.
Yes, and that is when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside Mr. Garrett's pipe.
That's that. A million to one.
And yet there's no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. Then, after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off the pipe and flew out of the open window. In short, this knife, which fell from the window of the Garrett's house, is the very same knife that struck the victim in the middle of the back on the street below. Oh gosh, oh dear, oh. No!
No!
God, his
This pipe has a chamber
it
of
is
secrets.
fire. It is fire at his back because you can see
It's
his
burnt, I think.
underpants.
Yeah. Guess we forgot to turn the notifications back on like I did. I was wondering where you were, Mala guy. A full-bodied theory. I'll give you that.
What?
It's a wine pun. I'm a sommelier by hobby. A complex bouquet of seemingly trivial points, plausibly arranged to create an almost passable vintage. Allow me to toast my learned friend's characteristically Nipponese approach to bottling his argument.
Sorry?
But after all, it is just a theory, a game theory. Thanks to the bottle, I feel. Here is cork.
Josh does have a new mic.
New is a stretch. I had this one, but it was super, like, really echoey in my old place. In my new place, it's still echoey, because I don't know how mics work. But it's less so. So,
Just start taping blankets to your walls.
just start taping blankets to my walls. What am I even waiting for? I mean, frankly, at this point, I'm a fool to not do it. Because, you see...
Oh! The boot
There it
back.
is. It's spoiled by an insurmountable inconsistency.
An insurmountable... What? Ow.
Cover myself. I put a big tarp over. I set up a tent in my own room.
All right, Rooks, explain yourself.
New Josh. Make a fort.
What is the inconsistency you have about?
An inconsistency of the simplest nature, my lord. The victim was found with a knife planted in the middle of her back.
Oh, right. Yes, in her... Ah! That's right, you silly little man.
No. What are you being so excited?
Let us consider the basic facts of the case once more. The victim was walking along the pavement before being stabbed in the back and falling to the ground. If the knife that struck her had fallen from above, there's no possible way it could have planted itself into the victim's back unless she had bent over to pick up something.
Ah!
Otherwise, there's no way. I love how, like, sometimes it's just a very plausible way that it could have happened, and they act like it could not. You know what I mean? They're just like, there's no way.
Occasionally, the problem is that we figure it out way too early. Quite right, you see, that's exactly
half
it.
the time it's just obvious stuff.
If the knife had fallen on her from above, it would have struck her on the top of her head. I ran out of breath. Well, he's lost for words, look. I knew it, I never lost this area in the first place. I don't know, I really don't know.
Oh, no.
Mutter.
A content creator I watch actually did record themselves while covering themselves on blank after they moved hands up their recording setup yet. See, that's what I need to do. Just blanket my entire shit every night.
What appeared has been rather spectacular blunder.
If a theory has even one inconsistency, it cannot stand. Your theory, my learned friend, ooh, look at that pose, is history.
This is easy, Ryunosuke, come on. We were so close. I could see the truth. I was so sure we were on the right track. But now the way has been blocked completely by just one simple inconsistency.
We simply need to eliminate that one inconsistency, and the theory will stand.
Miss Susato?
You mustn't worry, Mr. Naruto. You were just caught off guard, that's all, and your mind went blank. But if the path you are on is indeed correct, then a way will present itself. The key to this is in the court record, I'm sure.
It's the book.
All the information you need is there.
It's the book.
It's the book. It seems you have nothing to say, my Nipponese friend.
It's the book.
Nothing at all to say? Well, your silence speaks volume.
Volumes like the volumes of a book?
Like the volumes of a book, you know, the book things? A tacit?
Tacit, I think.
A tacit?
Tacit?
Hang on, I'm Googling. Hang on, I'm looking. It's trying to say taciturn, which is not what I want right now. Tacit, understood or implied without being stated. A tacit acceptance that your theory is fatally flawed.
But it's the book, though.
Neep on these nuts.
Objection! This inconsistency doesn't mean I was on the wrong track. It means that I need to sharpen my mind and dig deeper for the truth. It's a test. Yes. If the knife fell on the victim from above, there's no way that it could have hit her in the middle of her back. Under normal circumstances, that is.
Does bending over count as a non-normal circumstance?
In this case, yes, I suppose. If you consider standing up to be normal, or even just like having your spine pointed toward the sky.
Spine.
Because you could also be sitting
Look,
down
you.
and sitting down and still get hit in the head with the thing, you know?
What are you implying?
Raoul.
There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can explain this inconsistency, that can explain how the knife that fell from above could have pierced the victim's back. We already have the answer. Goodness!
How do magnum? Oh, this must be the last time. Now, look, present the evidence of which you speak.
This is the last inconsistency, the final piece in the puzzle. If I can successfully make sense of this, the truth will be laid bare at last. The evidence that explains how the falling knife became lodged in the victim's back is... the lion's breath.
It's
Take that!
Ben.
This, the fourth book found at the scene. This is the final piece of evidence the defense will present. Bolt.
The burnt book.
Is that not Mr. Garrett's book?
Yes, and to understand its significance, we have to consider how it came to be at the scene in the first place. This photographic print clearly shows the book in question, and the victim holding it in her hand.
But, as we all now know, it was the police constable
This
that
is
put
not
the
a very
book
flattering
between the
picture of him.
fingers like that. Yeah, also he said he did that because that was how he found it.
Yep. That's true. However, as part of his testimony, Constable Beat made an extremely enlightening statement at that point. But what made you place that book in the victim's hand? Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it. When we first went over the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So, when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand.
Bold and brash.
In other
More
words,
like
the victim had already
belongs
picked up
in the
book of-
trash.
The victim had already picked up the book of her own volition. I love the confident evidence pointing pose. He's not shuffling his papers, he knows what he's about now.
He knows what's
And
good.
clearly that must have been before she suffered the knife wound.
Wait, that was more Garrett than I.
I believe that will not imagine that made what you do much of anything.
So the question becomes, why did the victim have that book in her hand?
My Jingo.
What?
Jingo.
I think I was here to see what may have happened.
Oh, dearie me.
We know the book fell from the top floor of the Garrett household onto the pavement below. At precisely the moment that the victim was walking past.
Yes, at exactly that moment. The young woman was walking along the street in the light fog, when all of a sudden, a book fell right in front of her. The book I threw? Yes, Mrs. Garrett. And what do you think the woman did? What would you do if you were walking along and suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement? Would you pick it up and begin killing criminals?
What?
In prisons the world over? Would you?
Would you do that? You know, it's funny. I hear about these Shinagamis.
My wife's got a friend who knows
That's
all
such a
about
good clip. I love when he like looks, he's just like, who's that gangly fellow who's standing behind you? Cryptids
really good.
recognize cryptids.
Well, I really can't imagine it, but I suppose she might have reached down and picked the book up. Yes, that is exactly what the woman in fact did. She picked up the book. Oh heavens! And when the woman reached down to pick the fallen book up, what position would her back have been in? That's right, facing the sky, completely and utterly defenseless. Well, then, in the very next moment, while the woman was still bent over picking the book up, The next object fell from the room above, the jackknife, straight into the middle of her back. And at the same time, walking by chance directly behind Miss Green, was the defendant, Mr. Sosuke Natsume. Was it the knife? Was it the fucking flash and then cutting to her on the ground?
It was the it was the way they just smash cut to her like over. It was like a meme.
It appeared to Mr. Natsume that the woman simply collapsed on the floor. In the dark and the fog, he didn't see the knife falling on her from above. Oh!
And from the other direction, the constable and his wife saw no one but the victim and her apparent attacker.
Right now, one of the real culprit to run from the scene of the place.
No, this was nothing more than a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. And that is the real truth behind this case. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb, I kinda don't want to see their breakdown animation. The very first time you showed me that knife, I had my suspicions. I wondered if perhaps it might have been something like that.
Hey there, old man.
Poor Mrs. Garrideb.
She did assault her husband for no reason. Of course, I never meant for anything of the sort to happen, but it was all my fault, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah, I mean...
He just doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
I take full responsibility. I let my anger get the better of me. I threw that book. And I threw the knife as well. John,
what did he say?
It was blank.
Oh, I see.
It's alright, I know.
I'm ever so sorry. Truly. I'm sorry.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Chad. Look at him go. Nice. Oh, the power stance.
Nope, there he goes.
Up. Up. Alright, well. I mean, he tried. He did try.
Lord Rodriguez, what news on Mrs. Garrett?
She's been taken to the infirmary. It would appear that today's events had left her in an especially flustered state. However, I believe she will recover in due course. There is no cause for concern.
Someone out there knows they called what could have easily been a terrible tragedy. There's lots of men those who are consequences of their actions.
John didn't do anything. John bought a book.
Both of them.
Yeah. There is some good news, everyone. Good news, however, my lord. I have just had word from the hospital where the victim is being treated. Her condition is improving steadily. The doctor believes she will regain consciousness soon.
Is this the first chapter in an Ace Attorney game without a murder? I think so.
I believe so.
Because
even
the one that was almost a murder, that was like, so Mask to Mask's thing was almost not a murder, and then it turns out it was.
And then it turned into a murder.
Yeah. It's strange.
We've
been talking about the victim all this time, but we've never once met her.
How wonderful. Also, I do like that idea Mulligai of he couldn't actually see it. It was a classic Columbo cop-out of like, I can't see him. He just said that so that you'd react. You know what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
The woman is out of danger, it seems.
Yes, that is good news.
Well, we'll just hopefully ain't not too bad.
Yes, what? I'm still here. I don't... yes. I don't remember his voice.
He was, I don't know, just sort of panicky.
Yeah.
Not really interested or anything.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're little countryman. I had next to take us up here to beg your pardon, sir. Begging your pardon. You came from a distant eastern homeland to study our great British culture. And we tried to hang you. and have been paid with immeasurable kindness. Unkindness, even. We accept our heartfelt apologies.
Give us haiku, Sasuke.
No, it is me who should be begging your pardon. Oh no, Mr. Natsume. That evening, when the young woman just collapsed on the pavement before my eyes, I jumped to the wrong conclusion again in my confusion.
What will do this, sir?
I was sure that the woman was dead.
Yes, Constable Beat said the same thing, didn't he? He thought she had been killed too.
I suppose she must have looked completely lifeless. It's been about a year since I arrived in Great Britain now, but I still can't get used to life here. I can't relax. I'm sure there are evil spirits lurking in the fog, like they're haunting me. Poor Sozuki-san. His imagination really has got the better of him.
Yes, poor man.
So when it happened, I thought the young woman had been taken by the fog spirits. I should never have dropped my books like that and run away. I should have called for help, for a doctor, for the police! Instead, I've managed to create a rift in the relationship of trust between our two empires. And for that, I am truly sorry.
Ben Zeeks is so tall.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's crazy.
All one blue prayers and service they say is we are that way here, I think. We have created a change of unfortunate mishaps. We have buffooned by spirit led to false conclusions. But thanks to Lord Ranzik for our young lord here from the east.
I have a name.
Our young, nameless Japanese friend. That chain has now been broken, and the spirit exorcised.
With all the characters we met during this investigation being involved. Except they weren't, though, because there's
Except
those
those
two
random,
guys.
the random fucking floppy man and the fucking Popeye. Those two guys.
Papa is Sorry, I just like the way that Pat Man scats, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, I recommend you both.
Oh.
Now that Blaze is having another cherry. Yes, my lord. In concluding with this trial, I must ask you one last time for your opinion on regarding the defendant's culpability. Are you ready to present your findings to the court?
I do declare the truth can be extremely cruel at times. Well, I didn't suspect the woman next to me, that's for sure.
Hey, it really helped me marshal out of action, you know. Alright, now what her decision would be.
Does this mean I'll finally get out of here and start work? Well, it's about time.
I say, I'll have a corker of a story to tell the grandchildren when I get home, won't I? Thank you, Santa Claus.
Stupid.
You're welcome.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, sir, I hereby demand your final decisions. Mr. Foreman.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
Alright, I guess they said.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
Fuck. I always forget about the giant fireball that happens when it hits one side.
Well, Mr. Anthony, I hereby pronounce you guilty, psych!
Psych, bitch!
God his ass. Dumb idiot. And finally, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, yes, Lord, sir.
We're now free man once more. And I hope you can hear us further your education of this hope. And may you never again be brought before me.
Oh, yes, sir, of course. On my life. I swear I'll never set foot in a courtroom again. I'm transported to tears.
Great. Thank you, counsel. Court is adjourned.
February, 3:17 p.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber.
The old Bailey.
Oh, Locum! Wait, you mean me? Of course!
Bailey.
Is there another Locum here? Is there even one?
Compared to the original locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire, your name has become rather short, hasn't it?
What's wrong with using my actual name? Oh, at last! I'm free! I'm free! Joyful, joyous, jubilant, jubilation! Heady, hearty, happiness, hurrah!
Oh, I am pleased. Mr. Natsume is delighted.
Would it be so hard just to say that, then? Locum, you did it! You saved me from the brink! Well, what happened to the poor woman was in no way your fault, after all. I'm just glad everyone can see that now. No, not that! Lovely, loyal, Locum, lawyer! Yes? I mean, as I said before, I've just never got used to life here in Great Britain. Every time I look over my shoulder, I see foreigners. I see towering brick buildings.
I barely know him.
And from the high-up windows, I see them looking down on me laughing. Look at that little hunchback.
Oh, that's me. Oh dear. I'm sure it's all in your head, Mr. Natsume.
But today, you, Locum lawyer, gave my gloom the boot. You stood firm behind that burrow needle bench before all those
did
babbling
what now?
British. You stood firm, but you battled to the bitter end, laying bare the baffling truth. And when I beheld the blinding fireworks among the beams of the Bailey's roof, I bellowed, "Behold, the best barrister ever born!" Well, that's very flattering, and we're very pleased for you. I am spitting blood everywhere. Please stop with the plosives. No more plosives, please. This has given me a wonderful
Please,
anecdote to
sir,
recount to
not
my
need
old
one
friends,
more.
Jack in Japan. Ah, an anecdote. Thank you. Is that what's to become of all my hard work? I don't know who this is. Oh, it's probably.
Ah, there you are, my dear.
Oh, there you are, my dear fellows. I knew it. I apologize for
Ah,
keeping you waiting. I rose late this
Herlock.
morning.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, what a pleasure to see you.
I see I am here not a moment too soon. A disaster has been averted, I'm glad to say. Oh my god.
Oh,
The trial shall begin presently, Mr. Naruto, and I wish you the very best of luck. It's just finished. What? No! Then my haste was in vain? Ah! It's you! Herlock Sholmes! Oh, have we met, sir?
This is Mr. Natsume, the man you had arrested, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, I see. I failed to recognize you at first. Our previous encounters have taken place in the gloom, either of your bleak lodgings or that prison cell. Simply couldn't place that curious face in the light. Charming. This is all your fault, Herlock Jones. You're the reason I had to go through this terrible ordeal. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. My apologies, sir, but I assure you I have placed you now. You're the fellow who abandoned that poor young lady and ran off, are you not? Ah. Had she been taken to hospital more urgently? I feel perhaps she would have regained consciousness by now. Oh. But it was unavoidable,
Yeah, he
I'm
never
sure.
said he did it.
We are but human, after
Remember?
all. Anyone would have been shaken by such an experience. I do feel very badly about how I behaved. Well, never mind. Now then, what was it that you wanted to say to me, sir? Nothing.
Diffused him.
Nothing. Priceless. Oh, I am sorry. Really, but... that was quite priceless. Poor Sosuke-san. Still, on the bright side, you've had an extremely entertaining experience without paying a penny. And it would seem you were not even found guilty. But there is no bright side.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Natsume?
Even after this, I'm still cursed by the spirits, and now by the Reaper! Ah, Lord Van Zeeks.
Oh,
I haven't forgotten, you know, what facing that man in court means. Even if you're found not guilty, you're still doomed!
It
Oh,
will be
no.
alright, Mr. Natsume. If the Reaper appears trying to make trouble, I will protect you.
Why?
Oh, shoot,
Ah!
Got him!
Why this again?
With a perfectly executed Susato takedown. I kind of just flipped the camera.
Much as I like being turned on my head, a bit of warning might be nice next time, Miss Susato. So, Mr. Natsume, what do you intend to do now? You mentioned something about recounting your experiences to your friends back in Japan? Yes, I intend to return to my homeland soon.
Oh,
It's me. It's already been a year since I arrived here in Great Britain. I visited universities, libraries, bookshops. I've been honored with the tutelage of professors. I've learned so much about the wealth of literature here and the city it has shaped. And I've come to realize that it is my calling to sail home and tell my fellow countrymen about it.
that's very touchy, Mr. Natsume.
Or in perhaps less veiled terms, you wish to withdraw halfway around the world to escape the terror of the Reaper's curse. That's not it at all! Probably. The more I learn of literature, the more this strange feeling claws at my insides. I feel compelled to return to my roots and attempt to pen a work of my own. Oh, I see. A work of literature by Sosuke-san. Could be an interesting read. And what about Miss Susato and yourself, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry, what about us? Will you return to Japan alongside your mustached compatriot? Why would we?
Yeah, we're not with with him, dude. We've been here like 12 seconds.
I know. Literally, it's been less than a week.
Since we arrived here in London. And only now does it feel as though we finally found our feet.
And you are accommodated in a hotel at present, are you not? That's right, but we need to find lodgings before it bankrupts us.
I've calculated we can only afford another 10 nights before an entire budget is exhausted.
Well then, you could take my lodgings. Oh, the windowless room? Ah, but what it lacks in windows, it more than makes up for with a floor, a ceiling, and walls. Great.
Yeah, man.
And of course, I'd be happy to leave behind the accursed evil spirit.
Oh my. An evil spirit?
Oh yes. It tries to suffocate you while you sleep. It's an infallible wake-up call. We'll think about it, if that's alright.
Was the spirit just that cat?
I think so.
The
Perhaps
cat
I can offer a
did the
more
cat just
welcome
sleep on
alternative.
his chest or whatever?
I think it did, yeah. Would you consider taking lodgings with me? No. Absolutely not.
I'd rather die.
Well, a vacancy has conveniently presented itself, though it is up in the attic, I might add. Are you sure it isn't just a storage loft? I spoke with the landlady this very morning on the matter of price, and Iris is cleaning the room as we speak. You must come at once. I presume you have no luggage to speak of.
Oh, this is simply wonderful. What an honor to be invited to take lodgings in the great detective's office's attic. I'm too overcome for words.
So suggesting we look elsewhere is out, then. Then it's settled. Iris will prepare a welcome dinner this evening. And you must come too, Mr. Natsume, I insist. I don't know what to say, but thank you, and yes.
Wonderful. Then I'll go and complete the paperwork for your formal release, Mr. Natsume. It shan't take long.
Somebody's happy. It's not me. Locum, I knew that you wouldn't let me down. I'm truly delighted to have met you here in London. Likewise, Mr. Natsume. It's been a privilege meeting you, too. It's a shame that we're going to have to say goodbye so soon. Well, I've come to realize that I belong in Japan. But Locum, we'll meet again one day. Yes, I'm sure. And hopefully by then I'll be a successful lawyer. Hopefully by then I'll be a successful author. Well, my dear fellow, our carriage appears to have arrived. Shall we go, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, Mr. Sholmes. I've little doubt Mr. Natsume will be released in time for dinner this evening. And so, with Soseki-san's innocence successfully established, we rode with Mr. Sholmes to what was to become our new home, 221 B Baker Street.
Oh my god, that's where Sherlock Holmes lives, too.
This sure is an
Oh,
attic.
dude, free garlic.
Oh, fuck
Hey,
yeah,
this is
dude.
a window, man.
That's true, there is a window. 20th February, 4:41 p.m., the attic room.
Or maybe those are onions?
It's hard to
supposed
say.
to be
Oh, there's
garlic
two
strand, though.
windows.
Oh,
So this-
that's is to be our new office, yes.
Our office? I rather like the sound of that.
Me too. It's simply wonderful, isn't it?
I hope you can see this, Kazuma. It's only a small step. But I'd like to think we're getting a little closer to your dream now. So, my dear fellows, do you like the place?
Oh my
Mr.
god.
Oh
He
no,
has
he's
hair
Oh no, he's hot.
under his hat.
Ah, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, thank you so much.
It's a delightful room, Mr. Sholmes. I simply adore it.
Good, I'm pleased to hear it. Iris and I are delighted to welcome you. I hope everyone's hungry. It's nearly
yeah,
time for
Iris.
dinner. We'll eat as soon as Mr. Natsume arrives. We have a lot to celebrate. She's not even doing anything right now. She's just cooking.
Yeah, but I hate her. She's like a baby.
Maybe she'll die in the next
Iris.
game. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be a treat?
Maybe the games will just
Iris,
kill a
you
child.
must let me help you.
All right,
No,
then,
they
Susie.
would. How could you
You can
kill
be in-
a child who's a doctor with 18 million degrees and a billion gazillion IQ? She'd probably just invent an undeath gun and use it on herself.
All right,
Fucking
then, Susie.
stupid
You can be
ass.
in charge of the salad.
Splendid. Just imagine him in his underwear. Oh no, he's hot.
So, Mr. Naruto, how does it feel to have your own office in the capital? It's very exciting, actually. I can't help wondering what adventures await us. Those were precisely my sentiments when I first established my office at these premises. Until I discovered the dark truth about the city of London, that is. Sorry? London is a glorious place full of wonder, opportunity, prosperity, and mirth. But the brightest of lights cast the darkest of shadows. Shadows? What do you mean? Well, I believe you're well aware of the murkiness that lies behind London's facade already. So once again, Mr. Naruto, welcome to London. Weird.
Thanks, man.
Of course, at the time, I had no idea of the significance of those words Mr. Sholmes spoke so casually. But it wasn't long before my turn came to lift the facade and see the true depth of the murk that lie behind it. End.
And
And then I died.
it was crazy. Hey, nice achievement.
Thanks. Save complete. Episode 5, The Adventure of the Unspeakable Story. Oh, Hound of the Baskervilles? Fuck yeah. I love Hound of the Baskervilles. What do you mean already? We've been playing this game for like
It's
8
coming.
months.
Sholmes's cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited, breathlessly, in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared. From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us. A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames. Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear. Look well, Wilson, Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast.
Sholmes.
For this is the diabolical hound of the Baskervilles.
Ooh.
Cool. Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. And that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown
Was
into on
gone
the day
in a
we arrived in that
flash.
country. And in
Was the
Sosuke-san's
monster
terrible ordeal that had
man.
followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However, there came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court, which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur and an unknown student of law from a faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram. 15th April, 9:13 a.m. Naruhodo's
The Ides
legal
of April.
consultancy.
Council team.
Knock, knock, knock. Oh, look. You got tables and shit. That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone, Susato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Susato-san?
Yes. Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see. What case is it today?
I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I?
Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real, with the non-stop pop of stainless steel. Rest in peace, X.
Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me.
But I think Ira said she would make us breakfast this morning. So shall we go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite?
What if we didn't, though? Just pretended we did. What if we didn't speak to Iris?
Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food.
She does, doesn't she?
Of course she does. Why wouldn't she?
And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form. Let me see. What case is it today?
Here we go again. Are you okay? So what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean.
Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, but you're not going to get away with that.
Well, I didn't think I would. Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. Ahem. It was just a boring old telegram.
That's 3 times now that she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing.
I promise I'll tell you about it at some point.
Alright, I understand. Last time somebody said that to me, they died.
Yeah?
Alright, I understand. I suppose Sosuke-san will have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he?
Yes, I should think so.
Also, you dropping any frames on the stream?
I'm dropping loads of frames
Random
on the
question.
stream.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. I was wondering. I was like, the stream was like super omega lagging on my end.
Yeah, it's real
I was
unstable.
like-
I don't know why.
Yeah. Nice. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or be just a few days away.
A fortnight ago, we had that very long telegram from him. Do you remember? Complaining of seasickness? But by and large, it seems the voyage has been going well.
Now, Josh, you know she's going to be a main recurring character. I know, that's why I'm mad. I would be less mad if she was a one-off character we'd never see again.
Is something wrong, Naruto-san?
I was just wondering, what might have become of Sosuke-san had he stayed in London? That's all.
You mean, as regards Lord Van Zeeks, the Reaper?
Yes, I can't help wondering if seasickness would have paled into insignificance in that case. The Reaper.
The Reaper.
What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right?
And they also say seasons don't fear the Reaper.
Nor do the winds or the rain.
The sun or the rain.
Oh, is it the sun? Yeah.
I think isn't that the lyrics? Like, neither do the winds nor the sun or the rain. Something
It
like
probably is.
that. Seasons don't fear the Reaper. Oh, it's been a hot minute since I listened to some
Nor
of
do
that.
the wind, the sun, or the rain.
Yeah.
So it's both.
Sun, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I
It's
just,
like, you
I forgot the sun
in your list.
entirely.
Yeah. That happens. Sometimes you forget about the
Sometimes
sun.
you just
you know?
forget the sun. You walk outside and go,
It's
"Oh
fine.
God, what is that shit?"
Ha! Horrible. What is it? Get it away from me.
Like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London.
Down with the sickness.
Even 2 months on, the cause of that dreadful fire is still a mystery.
Yes, but at least Sosuke-san is safely out of the country now. Presumably that means...
That the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps.
Even if that's the case, it's a little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding.
The legend of the late Reaper is to be believed. It means he wields the sword of justice himself.
Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Surely not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants.
No, I don't think so. Apparently Lord Van Zeeks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter.
Oh?
Yes, since Soseki-san's trial, he's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems.
Really? Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So it's just been me who's had to face him in his recent spate of trials then. Ugh, just my luck.
I wonder if luck doesn't come into it.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, nothing. Never mind.
Susato, you concern me. What are you not telling me?
Maybe the telegram was talking about how Iris got an incurable disease where she needs to not be here ever again.
Just looking at the things in the background of this apartment are driving me insane. Like on that upper right shelf where he just has a single shoe and a mallet for some reason.
Well, you see, they're from his prior cases, probably. You don't remember? You don't remember one-shoed Billy the mallet murderer?
God damn it. Oh no. 15th April, Sholmes is sweet. Morning, Runo. Morning, Susie. What the fuck is happening?
Good morning. This is this is how I feel every time she talks.
Iris?
Good morning, Iris. It's definitely Herlock, right?
What is that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled. Ah, yes, you noticed that, did you? How could I not? Hurley isn't the best form this morning, it seems. Are you talking shit about my violin playing? Hello. Hi? What is happening?
Mr. Sholmes?
What is happening to everyone? Good morning? A good morning to die, perhaps.
Yeah, dude.
Are you okay, man? Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before. My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead.
So what's he
Damn
hungover?
this blanched existence! That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
I have depression! Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me, if it's not too much trouble. Kitty!
No.
Kitty!
Cat. Fully animated cat.
Oh look, it's Wagahai.
Good morning, boy.
Meow.
No.
That must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. But how did it get there? Well then, everyone, time for breakfast.
Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris.
It would indeed be a fine day to die. I knew something looked different. Oh, something's missing from Mr. Sholmes' desk. Hey man, what's, wanting to die?
Bruh.
You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What's happened? What's got you down, friend? It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its mellissonant tones would make flowers bloom. It would? But now, the muses are unamused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over.
You do, Mulligai, but I don't remember them. It's
You
something
did-
about, like, how you can respell Neko or something like that, and it's
Yeah.
Wagahai. I remember you talking about it. I just don't remember the details because my brain no keep information good. Whatever
It's
do you
you.
mean, Mr. Sholmes?
For hours I have bowed, for days even. Through the night I have endeavored to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone, gone forever! No more recitals of unbridled emotion! Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley? Don't worry, I'm sure it will come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Narhado. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man, the next, they unmercifully withdraw it. Oh, dear. Ah! Why is this happening to me? If they take the tone I have for violin from me, what is left for pity's sake? What is left? Deduction, perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for? Missing machine.
Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to cry. But what the fuck, dude? Your desk looks rather empty today.
Ah, well done, Miss Susato. Your observational skills do you credit. I don't like depressed Sherlock.
Oh no, Mr. Sholmes. They pale into insignificance when compared to yours.
You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you? You mean Hurley's Great Analytoscope? That's at Winterbanks now. Sorry, it's at a windy bank? No, Winterbanks, the pawnbrokery. Why? What?
What?
You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see. Quite undeservingly.
But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us, if your situation had become so desperate. I would have gladly passed what little income I have to you.
Dear madam, things are far from desperate.
But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate?
Making use of a pawnbrokery is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. It is? It doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works. Oh, what's to understand exactly? How pawnbroking works. What did you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks. What?
Thanks?
On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily through the week. And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they've earned. What?
I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us.
This sounds grossly inefficient. Everyone does it, you see, even people in inner London. And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn, should the need arise.
Oh, how ingenious.
So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Winterbanks, you see. A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. I would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain. Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Don't you, Hurley? Shut up. I don't want to talk about it. What does it matter? The world is dead to me now. Okay. Anyway, what's I can't go anywhere else. Do I have anything to present? Have anything to examine? Hey Iris, what the fuck is up? What's going on? Can you fix this man? Waga hi. Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new home then. Oh yes, and I've become very attached to little Waggy.
No, that's how they work here in the U.S. too.
Is it?
Like that's how pawning works.
Huh.
You can, I mean, normally it's not a good way to do it. At least not here in the U.S. It's not. But like pawning items is you take out a loan and you give them collateral, and if you renege on the loan, then they get to sell
just keep
whatever
it.
you gave them as
They
collateral.
keep your thing and sell
Correct.
it,
Yeah, it's just for some reason they became like people forget about that part, and at least in the U.S. for some reason just act like it's a place that you just go to sell your stuff. But that's not how
Not exactly.
pawning actually works. If you watch Pawn Stars, once in a while they will actually pawn, like fully actually pawn something, as opposed to just buying it for resale.
yeah. Right.
That
It
is how that is how they function here too. Yeah, it's just like
Huh.
I don't like for on popular media things like Pawn Stars, they don't actually really run a pawn shop.
No, they
It's
just
like
sort of buy
80%
things.
not a pawn shop. Yeah.
It would appear his previous owner has completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their muse as empty as the hearts of the muses. Aww. If Mr. Natsume had no intention of tagging Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place. I expect he would have taken him if he could, but pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience. Except for when they aren't.
And for good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of the passage are not obeyed.
Oh, right. Well, I don't mind, because Waggy is adorable. Aw, kitty.
No.
Yes, he really is. Oh yes, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come from? Oh, you noticed? You are observant, Bruno. Look, I use this, my latest invention. This seems like
I hate the clown music.
What is that? I call it the cat flapper mat. What?
Of course you do. Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats?
That's right, I can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. And it can do it in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see. Wouldn't it have been quicker to just make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat flap? Well, yes, maybe. But now I can make cat flaps anywhere I like.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door of our office upstairs, Iris.
No. She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. Hehehe. So somebody's gonna use that to do a crime later.
Probably.
Meow.
Oh, what was that?
Waga high? Clatter, clatter, screech. Oh my god. What was that? Oh no! Rakahai's tangled up in your violin! Oh no.
I think he thinks it's a toy.
No! What's he doing to it?
Oh dear, Mr. Sholmes' precious violin.
Why should I care? What? I shouldn't be surprised. If the cat is a more accomplished musician than I am now. Huh?
reverting back to number 15 when speaking to Iris, she sucks all the joy out of me. It just makes me want to cease, you know? I hate her. I hate her ever so much. Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he?
Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, Hurley? Out of the cat's reach, if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. Let's, how do I... That violin looks like untouched. Oh, never mind. At least one broken string. So this is the violin, is it? It's a Stradivarius, one of the finest violins in the world, made by renowned Italian luthier Antonio Stradivari. Oh, I see. It doesn't really look like anything special to me. I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. How
that's a
honorable
good
of
deal.
you. And until today, it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you, is there a reason to live in a world devoid of music, to tolerate this blanched existence? No! There is none! Okay.
Alright, champ. Mr. Sholmes?
What, dear madam, what? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine.
Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think?
Hmm? What do you mean, Mr. Zato? Oh, Susie's right. Yes, the tone of the wood is completely different.
And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before.
Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What's this? Did somebody fucking steal his violin?
I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument isn't a violin at all.
Then what? It's a viola.
I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola.
What? What?
Or perhaps a voila.
That was a very good freak out animation. All 5 frames of it. You're right! You are quite right! This isn't my faithful Stradivarius. So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam? Not your faithful performing partner, then. Oh, I see what must have happened. You do, Iris? This is just a simple mix-up. Sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we ask her. Oh, I know what's happened. He pawned it and grabbed the wrong shit.
Right? Yeah. Someone should give Sherlock some of his signature cocaine to cheer up.
What did you mean by a mix-up, Iris? Well, you see, this violin... sorry, this viola, I mean... was out of Winterbank's until last week.
At the pawnbroker's?
Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner. There is a proverb from the East, with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel.
Yes, indeed.
So you send your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth?
Oh, what a wonderful idea.
Last week I pawned my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Winterbank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings. Pshaw, a fine state of affairs this is. And why I always say, Mr. Narvado, never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time. Would you like to rephrase that?
No. But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbroker as an extremely secure vault.
I say a lot of things. I'm on so much cocaine, you can't trust any of it.
Listen, I'm shooting up constantly. Whenever you look away, whenever I'm not on screen, I'm injecting something into my eyes.
Come, Mr. Naruto, dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry? Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect, pressing your coffee so obtusely. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct considering the urgency with which we are faced?
They fiddled him lie a damn play. I must visit Mr. Winterbank's pawnbroker at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes?
Precisely, Mr. Sato, without a moment's delay. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs. My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect, to thrust your egg ever more obtusely? Alright, say no more. Let's go then. Don't worry, Runo, I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later. Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I am rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker's looks like. Reheated eggs is a sad breakfast.
I mean, even reheated bacon's not that good.
No. I would rather just eat it cold, frankly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bullshit in here. 15th April, Winterbank's Pawnbrokery. That is a lot of hats. So this is a British pawnbrokery.
Oh my. There are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here that I've never laid eyes on before.
Ah, Susato-san, and that spark of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this?
Oh yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me.
My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
We are calling on matters of business, not pleasure. And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging by the spark of fury in his eyes. Do you want to be Mr. Winterbank?
Sure. What do you think Mr. Winterbank sounds like?
I don't know. Maybe like
What if he's Snagglepuss?
Sure, why not?
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, sir. Welcome back. That's Snagglepuss, right? That's what I'm thinking of? The
Yes.
exit stage left.
Yep, that's Snagglepuss. Did you hear that brazen welcome? Well, yes, we are potential customers after all. We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruto. It's time to inform Mr. Winterbank of our ire. Come! The fight is afoot! Oh no.
That's a real Snagglepuss motherfucker right there. I can feel it.
Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago.
Yes?
The second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Winterbank. The color of the wood is different. It has holes in it. It's not even the same size.
Wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm so very sorry, sir. Utterly unforgivable of me. An inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There's only one way to make amends. Oh. Oh my god! Shit!
Oh my god!
I was not ready for any of that to happen. Oh, what the fuck? They animated my man's getting a gun to kill himself.
What the fuck? Oh no!
Holy shit.
The fact that they had him run into the background first and then run back.
I shall have to take my own life.
I don't think that will be necessary, do you?
If I may just say one thing before I pop off.
Yes?
It was you, sir, Sherlock Holmes, who... Mr. Sholmes, perhaps, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe.
Sorry?
As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch a violin, when I heard, here it is.
You did?
That's why I turned to
Controvert?
controvert?
I guess.
Controvert you? You had taken the viola and left, sir. Oh, there can be no doubt that the blame lies certainly at my own door for not allowing you to leave. So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me.
No, stop, my dear fellow, the fault is mine. I really love Sherlock's fucking freak out animation. It's really good.
When he just flails into the background. It reminds me of that dragon game from like ever ago. You know, that like hand animated one? What was that called?
Shit, I can't remember.
I don't know why it makes me think of that. Something about the fluidity of it does though. Ew.
Well?
It would appear that the fight is over.
I do humbly apologize, Mr. Winterbank. Evidently, my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy.
Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Herlock Sholmes without that questionable disposition now, would you?
I do believe you may be right, sir. It's either laugh or cry, I suppose.
You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers. I need to remind you of the peculiar collection of items you've brought through my door in the past. Oh, peculiar items. And the extreme, ma'am, for example. In the unpublished manuscript of an eponymous work, the novels of Herlock Holmes or some such. Oh my, a new full-fledged novel. And unpublished, a story I have not yet to read, you mean?
Okay.
Forgive me! Wait, before you die, you must tell me more. Dude, why is
Before
my
you
man
die.
so ready to die at the moment's notice? Awesome. I must know more. Tell me everything.
Wow, Suzato-san is really fired up now.
Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof? Well, one day the gentleman here brought in an old metal chest, you see.
I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Winterbank.
For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir. Not a farthing more.
It houses something of very great value indeed. The latest manuscript recounting the adventures of one Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
I beg your pardon, a manuscript? You wish to deposit a manuscript?
Indeed I do, for I am confident it will be quite safe here.
And that was that? As such, Mr. Soames's latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom.
Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? Maybe. Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this? I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings securely.
Of course, sir, of course. They're safe and sound with me, I assure you on my life.
This is all very strange. Pawnbrokery. I wonder, could I ask you something?
Ah, a gentleman from the east, I see. Yes, that sable outfit. I suppose I could offer you a 6pence for it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat
Dog.
Sorry?
Aha! But for your splendid attire, ma'am, 5 guineas, no less. The colors are exquisite, the design exotic. Eastern artistry at its finest, I might say.
Oh my, 5 guineas, you say? How interesting.
Why do I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here? Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business.
Literally got fashion copped in the pawnbrokers. He was like, for your shit ass threads, dude.
A
nothing.
6
5 pennies. I'd spit in your face.
pence.
But Susato over here, kicking it.
Actually,
The
I was
thinker
hoping
in
to
the
ask
background?
about your business.
Oh, yeah, there's a little.
Right. I've heard it. Wait a minute. That's a reference. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London.
Yes, sir, indeed. Many of the customers utilize the establishment as you described. I praise their items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure stowage. If in that time they repay the original sum to me plus the agreed interest, the items are happily returned.
What happens if they don't pay you the money?
He pulls out the gun.
Then the items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see on the shelves behind me.
So you never sell items before the 2 months has passed then?
That's right, ma'am, that's right. Which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all.
The very idea, Mr. Winterbank, is an absurdity. One should never talk of one's demise so casually. Says the man who was telling us all it was a good day to die only this morning. And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such a tragedy never occurs. Though, what sort of measures? I engineered a simple device which Mr. Winterbank has installed here in his shop. I call it the Red-Handed Recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Winterbank?
Aww.
What was that deep sigh about? What on earth is a red-handed recorder? Oh, it's me. Use your eyes, my dear fellow. There are 2 just below the ceiling. Oh, cameras.
I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device.
I actually don't see what she's talking about.
And that silvery box right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right?
Very
That looks
astute.
like a camera, doesn't it?
I think so. It is indeed a camera furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film, and every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop.
Here, I have an example I can show you.
Yes, a print from the camera set to record the activity at the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive it produces a crystal clear image even in darkness. Really? That's extraordinary.
Fun fact, Winterbanks design is modeled after a portrayal of a Sherlock character called the James Wilson by an actor called Roger Hammond. James is probably called the Red-Headed League.
Oh, fun.
Dog picture.
Yes, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it. Look.
Oh, he does just have a picture of his dog there.
Dog.
So you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed.
But did you not say the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals?
Indeed, as you say, my dear madam.
Then what if the incident were to occur in between times?
What can I say? That would be a cruel twist of fate.
You must confess your devices have been giving me some cause for distress as of late.
beg your pardon, Mr. Winterbank. Surely they were anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word.
It's the cost of the film, sir. You must graciously place not one, but 2 cameras in my shop, after all. Which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of the film will break me before I'm very much older.
Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbrokery, no? My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security come at a price.
Oh, heaven help us.
Okay.
Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin.
Ah, the very thing! Thank you, Mr. Winterbank.
Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you try to pop. Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be my only answer.
I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone could get hurt.
Fear not.
Sorry?
I've only loaded a single bullet. No one but myself could possibly be harmed.
That's not really what I meant.
Holy shit.
Good day to you then, Mr. Winterbank.
It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Show.
The deep breathing is really upsetting.
So, Mr. Naruto. Now we can explore at last.
I guess. There's nothing in here that particularly catches my eye.
Well, I just took I highlighted things.
Oh, I already
There's
talked
one
to
on
you.
that bookshelf. Hello.
Look at that enormous ledger. Open on the counter there.
Mr. Winterbank is, if nothing else, very peculiar about recording the items he accepts. He'd have to be, otherwise he'd get
fix the
himself into
whole
all sorts of
generation.
trouble. Which might explain the thing that catches my eye far more than the ledger. This revolver here. Do not entertain even a single thought of pilfering an article herein, my dear fellow. I assure you, Mr. Winterbank would not hesitate to draw that weapon with the speed belying his portly size.
Oh, you don't mean he'd
Kill himself before you got out the
Blow
door.
his brains out? Indeed. In recompense for his blunder.
I do agree, Malachi. Winterbank speaks to an entire generation, doesn't he?
Oh my.
Dude, just the speed. You know the speed of which he'd pull out that gun and just blast himself.
But in any case, of course we would never do such a thing. How could you even suggest it?
I love that the deterrent in this store is not so much that you will get hurt, it's that this man will kill himself. And do you really want that on your conscience?
Look at this. What could this lovely, big, shiny box be?
That, my dear madam, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country.
Oh my, yes, but I've certainly never seen one so large before.
Shall we listen a while?
Ah, what a sublime sound. It's like the music of angels.
I've never heard anything like it before in my life. That's me. This particular specimen is one of the larger variety, commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There is a metal disc inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played.
My goodness, what a simply delightful machine.
Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course.
Science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace.
Fucking tell me about it. Oh, shelves.
What a storm of things there are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks, and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine.
Those are forfeited items offered for sale by the pawnbroker. What does that really mean, though? When you pawn, or colloquially pop, an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid. If not, he is free to display it in his shop for sale at a price of his choosing. Oh yes, now you've explained it, I'm noticing little price tags on everything. Of course, simply paying the agreed interest on the loan, one could extend the period for safekeeping. So you may pawn that black garb as yours without fear, my dear fellow. My treasured university uniform? Never! It embodies my student spirit. Sure, man.
Sure, whatever, dude.
Is that an old-timey TV?
Nope. Right to the right of her?
Yeah.
They're
Like
not
the-
TVs
like the
so
super
much as
old
like
ones?
it was movie. Yeah, it was like moving pictures. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. That seems to be what it is. Now, what do you suppose this rather enormous machine does?
It seems to have two little windows for looking through. Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you are looking at is a stereoscope.
A stereoscope. Fascinating.
It is aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourself.
Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me a moment while I just have a look.
Just before you do, there is something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically as it were, you will need to be cross-eyed. However, if that is beyond you, it is of little consequence today.
Alright then, I'm going to try it. Ah! Mr. Naruto, you must see at once!
Oh, alright then. So I need to be cross-eyed, like I'm trying to look at my own nose. Thinking to throw out the 3DS's cool 3D capabilities. What the?
Hang on, wait, I can do this.
I don't believe it. I mean, it's not gonna work because of...
Oh, no, it does. No, it works.
It's just
What
a
do you mean it's
photographic
not gonna
print,
work?
but it seems like you could reach out and touch it. I'm not
It
very
totally works, dude.
good. I think I'm not very good at these.
I used to do... Well, I would be able to look at it longer if you hadn't skipped. Goddamn fucking... I am so good at Magic Eye puzzles, dude. It's like
I'm
my
very
hidden
bad at
talent.
them.
It's being good at... It's being so fucking good at... So fucking... It's easy.
There's a sense of death is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's many fads. They're often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them.
Why? Why are people meddling with such black magic?
It is no magic,
What?
my dear madam. It is, well, far too complicated to explain at present. We shall save this lesson for another day. I don't know how it works.
I have no goddamn idea. Those are even pretty easy to explain.
Here, I'll fucking bring it up again, and I'm gonna try a second time.
Yeah. What you have to do is like cross your eyes. Don't do the nose thing. That doesn't work. You gotta cross your eyes, and then just try to get the lady to line up in the two images it creates. You know what I mean?
Kind of takes the magic out of it when the screen doesn't do it for. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, you just line up the lady, and then it like creates like a 3D image. And it looks like she's standing way in front of like the Mitchells. It totally works, dude. Yeah, they're two slightly different images. Sick.
Yeah, I'm really bad at these.
Dude, I'm so good at these. I can get it like instantly.
Nah, man. I'm dying. What the hell is this thing?
It literally just turns into a magic eye picture. It's so funny. Look at this. Whatever could it be used for?
I have no idea.
Ah. There's a small catch just here, look.
We're going to open it, aren't we?
Oh my, that's amazing. It has some sort of spring-loaded mechanism.
Which we'll never manage to put back to the way it was before. What are you two doing? What? Us? Nothing. No, nothing at all. Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. I feel as though I've seen something rather similar to this elsewhere. Look at it.
Look
at
this.
it.
Whatever could it be used for?
Look, I want to see. I want to see it. Look
It
at
looks
it.
like this does a similar thing.
Yeah, it does. That's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th April, today's date.
Yeah, that's not for sale, I must point out. It's an Eastern-style page-a-day calendar. Every night at midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date.
Why? Why then? The perfect
Because
calendar for
it'll be useful for the case later.
the perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Winterbank. I forgot to do a voice for a second there. And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before?
Well, when the agreed storage purchase period is passed without repayment, articles are forfeited. So I have to keep a close eye on the date. It's something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say.
Oh yes, I can see you're very dedicated to your job.
I'm like Topple before, I ain't firing, you know it. So I was bad with a pen, miss, I cannot... What the fuck just happened? Sounds like there's an argument brewing over by the counter. Come on, that can't be right. Have you been out of proper butchers at it? Oh wait, I know who this is.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
Mr. Winterbank.
I've seen all I need to see, young girl.
Yeah, there she is.
Yeah, she is. Yep.
Wait, don't we know? I'm sure I recognize her.
I can hear Boko in the background. Oh yes, it's that young lady from Mr. McGilded's trial 2 months ago. Whatever her name was. It was like
Her
Cockney
name is
fuck-
Gina.
cock-
Her name is
cocker.
Gina
That's
Lestrade,
it.
my lord. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket.
Hey Gina, what's up? What's poppin'? How's it going?
Gold Bennett, you lot!
Why do you still have that? Hello, Miss Lestrade. I hope you've been well.
Eh? What? You remember me then, do ya? Well, I remember being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure. So, what are you doing in here? Down and out like the rest of us? Nothing to eat? Come to pop that black weasel, sorry, coat, have ya? What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone comment on it? Ah, good
Because your
day.
drip sucks.
Unless I'm much mistaken. You would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ah! Mr. Sholmes? So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article and I shall negotiate with Mr. Winterbank on your behalf. Pull the other one, I don't need no help from some stuck-up day. Get out of my business. Go on, or I'll make trouble for you.
Stuck up what?
As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I will happily remove myself from your presence. He's really done it. He's gone. He just fucking left.
Where's she? Where'd she keep getting ammo for that thing? She must have stolen a whole basket of it.
It's
I'm
crazy.
sorry, but as I said, there really is no room for negotiation here.
What is that thing he has in his hand? Some kind of metal disc? Oh, it's a music
It's for
box disc.
the music player. Yeah.
And you, go on, let me alone.
Oh, Miss Lestrade, just pretend we aren't here. We shan't be offended in the slightest.
That's... So Sato-san can really stand her ground when she wants to. Whatever. Anyway, this is as good a time as any to stop, I think.
Susato is cold as ice.
Like, no, I want to watch this. I want to see what happens
No,
here.
continue to do your thing.
I'll
I'll be
just-
here.
Judging you. Anyway, that's gonna do it for us
No.
tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody. Probably end up doing Stardew tomorrow. We'll see. But you know, we also might do nothing because there's a
Yeah.
very large possibility that I will be at work until midnight again. So have a good night,
It could
everyone.
be nothing. It
Bye.
could be something.
Bye.
Bye. Did you remember your